Wow, I love it here on the island of Tafiti. It's so nice and peaceful.
I'm so glad our plane crashed.
The first few days after the plane crash were peaceful, but quickly that peace turned into chaos. People began to fight for power and resources. One group of people even attempted to take over everyone, believing all of their ideas were right. But that's not how we want to run things.
You think you can overthrow my government? Think again.
As you can see, this is pure chaos.
This needs to be stopped, which is why we're here to implement our government policies. Does anyone want to run for government? Anyone?
Me, I want to run for government.
Anyone at
I
all?
have good recommendations.
Shut up, woman! Man, I really wish we had a say in the government.
I know, this is so unfair. To ensure that this does not happen to you, our first government policy will ensure that women are given the right to have a role in the government. Before the plane crash, women were given no say and were not allowed to be in the government. But with our policy and in our government, they will.
The Republic of Vain, they're making all these decisions. They're not even asking the people. What about us?
Have you ever found yourself wanting a say in the government? Well, that's why our second policy is here to help. We're going to have a government run by the people, and not just one person or group. We're going to have voting, owning property rights, and the freedom of speech and religion. And this is going to be a positive change to our society.
This policy is inspired by John Locke with the idea that the government should be run by the consent of the governed, and that the people should always come first, and the government shouldn't have the ability to take power and natural rights from the people. The government will give power to the government, and when they give power to the government, and the government abuses that power, the government can revolt and take back that power, which is why this will be successful. Because the government will stay ruled by the consent of the governed, with the people's interests in hand, and the people will do this by voting on decisions collectively, and this is going to ensure that people's voices will be heard and listened to.
Because now the people will be in charge and have more power than the government, because we will be the ones running.
But what if the people in charge abuse their power?
This is why we're implementing a checks and balance system in our government. We're going to have 3 branches of government, the legislative, judicial, and executive, that all have equally shared power so that no people are taken advantage of, and they can check the decisions made by the other branches, and so we can have a great stabilized government. So glad I finally harvested all of my fruits and vegetables. I can't wait to eat these later. I even made a sign because I know people have been stealing. I gotta go.
Mine now!
Hey, those are mine!
Ow. Our third policy will ensure that the government protects everyone's right to their property. This means that no one gets their food stolen and nobody goes to sleep hungry.
Look at our people just sitting around, twiddling their thumbs. That ends now. We want our people with the best of the best knowledge. We're gonna gather everyone, have them write down all their ideas and all of their knowledge on every subject you can think of. Hunting, fishing, anything, you name it, we got it. One library where everyone can access.
The best government around, and you should vote for us because our policies will make you have the best life ever.
Vote for Tafiti!